It's 12:21. I'm 6 minutes late. You know what that means. It was a weird, rough morning, but you also know what it means. It's time for the sports hour, and we'll kick it off because we're, 6 minutes late already. Jeepers, what a time that was. Um, but we got it set up. We are all good to go. Um, and then we got some fun stuff to talk about. You got the Blue Jay banner behind me again for the first time in a bit because we talked about the Panthers mostly on Monday. But today should be a fun day. We have Collision to talk about from Saturday because it was a huge episode. And then we also have the Blue Jay game to talk about, as well as an AEW Dynamite preview. So, very excited for today. Got a lot of really fun stuff to look forward to. Unfortunately, I don't get to plug my baseball live streams quite yet. That was meant to be last weekend, and then potentially yesterday and today. But unfortunately, stuff out of my control happens quite often. So, we'll just leave it be. We'll leave it at that. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, today, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. We got AEW Dynamite. And we actually have 4 matches announced. So, genuinely kind of shocked. Because this is a rarity, if we're being honest with each other. A huge rarity for AEW lately. And it's something that general fans are starting to catch on to, I've noticed. A lot of the time in Twitter replies on AEW posts, a lot of them are complaining about the promoting of the matches and the promoting of the cards and just the promoting in general, where it's like, the booking is great, so why are we not pumping that out constantly, and actually promoting what we have? It's like movie trailers show a good amount of stuff that's going to take place in the movie. So why are we not showing on advertisements what's going to take place on the show? I mean, watching Collision, I watched it back this morning. Watching Collision, they advertised the matches that were going to happen later on that night like 4 or 5 times, which is crazy to me because I'm already watching the show. I know what's on the show. Everything that wasn't announced, I'm already watching. You got me hooked. I guess it's to keep the regular viewers, interest in tune with the show and to make them not switch channels. But for most people, they already know. I would have much preferred that be told to me way in the past. So either way, that was the one interesting thing, and it's the one thing I will constantly say for AEW, and that's the drum that I will beat. So moving on to AEW Collision. Actually, I'm now did I even spell that right? Yeah, I did. Okay, I had to make sure though, because I was rushing to make my graphics. So AEW Collision recap. I actually have notes for once that are my own. So here we go. Jumping into the show, we are still in the 2300 arena. I'm pretty sure this is now the 4th episode of shows that they've had here. I think it's going to be now this Wednesday. Today. This Wednesday. It's going to be today in the ECW arena and then Saturday in the ECW arena. So 6 straight shows. Oh my gosh, it's too many in one arena. If we're being honest with each other, I'm just getting a bit sick of it. I want to see something new. Luckily, next Wednesday we will, and I'll be there live to experience that new feeling. But yeah, it doesn't take away from the quality of the show. I'm just, I want change. It's too many. If that Collision taping was the last show at the 2300 Arena, I'd be happy, but it wasn't. So here we are. I'm wearing the Anxious Millennial Cowboy shirt for this one. Had to, I felt like. Even though he wasn't on the show. So either way, we'll jump right into it. We'd kick off AEW Collision with Moxley versus Garcia. What a match. Oh my God. This is one of those, like, again, I'm making it a weekly occurrence of seek this match out, seek this match out, seek this card out. Every single match, I think there were 4 matches, were fantastic and phenomenal. Phenomenal is what I wanted to say, but I caught myself. This was unreal. Great television. So go seek this match out wherever you can. Well deserved. This is awesome chance. Moxley would pick up the W at the end, but there were so many times during this match where Danny Garcia would get the Dragon Tamer in, and I'd be like, oh my God, this is it. He's actually going to pick up a win over Moxley, and he doesn't. After the match, he grabs he shoves away Daddy Magic, grabs a microphone, says, good ain't good enough, like, I'm losing a lot, and yeah, he has been, so who knows? Maybe he goes evil. Maybe that's what he means when good ain't good enough. Maybe he goes evil and joins Moxley because, he can't beat him, join him. Or maybe not. Maybe he finds a new edge, goes off on his own. We'll see, but I really like it. After that, we got a recap of the Don Callis family killing Kenny, and then we moved into Big Bill. Oh my God, he's such a great promo nowadays. He challenges Eddie Kingston. Big Bill and Brian Keith are so great. Brian Keith just throwing in his little ad-libs in there. And then it culminates with Big Bill saying that Philly sucks. Everyone from Philly sucks and they're weak and whatnot. And that he's from where real tough guys are from, New York City. And then he says, I know where someone else from New York who runs his mouth. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't even know where he is. Eddie Kingston. So that's pretty cool. Mentioning Eddie Kingston on the television is pretty sweet in general. So, hey, I'm a fan of that. And then these two are so great. If you don't love Big Bill and Brian Keith, you can shove it because these guys are great. Legitimately one of my favorite duos in the entire company. And they have been for a while. Afterwards, we'd get our FTR versus Tom Billington and Adam Priest match. Tom Billington, of course, the Dynamite Kid. The son of the Dynamite Kid. I love FTR. They get the win in this one, and they're so good. They should stay heels for the end of time. They're just so fantastic in the ring, and their characters are so good. And then the pairing with Stokely Hathaway is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, I love them a lot. They would cut a little promo after the match. Just saying that, beating down on them afterwards and being like, this is CNC's fault, and they're going to be dead after All Out. So we'll see about that. Afterwards, we'd have a pre-tape of the Outrunners and Dalton Castle pairing up in the woods. I'm sure if you've been on Twitter, you've seen this. I mean, it's gold. These guys are going to be so hilarious together. Immediately after that, we'd cut to a Moxley promo where he's outside. And this was a fantastic promo. Talking about how Danny Garcia and Orange Cassidy, well, not Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin and Danny Garcia keep wanting to take everything from him. And he's like, I don't have anything anymore. Do they want my social skills? Do they want my athleticism, my looks? He's like, I don't have the belts anymore, so what do they want to take from me? What do I have that you want? And then he's talking about Darby Allin, and he says that he would rather Darby be fighting alongside him. And Darby's one of his guys, and he hates this single-minded mindset that Darby has, that gold means everything, and that making him lose championship matches it was for his own good or whatever. Moxley propaganda. Fantastic promo though. I think Moxley's on top right now. I think he's the ace of the universe. This was awesome. Speaking of awesome, we'd move into our next match of the night, the All-Star 8-woman tag match. That's Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Chris Statlander, and Harley Cameron facing off against Tekla, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Megan Bayne. Megan Bayne joining the trio of spooky ladies. This was fantastic. This is 8 of my favorite wrestlers just on the roster right now. I love Megan Bayne to death. She's one of the best. And then the rest of these gals are just fantastic. Stat and Cameron are doing great stuff. This match would start with Wheeler Yuta making his way to the ring and getting booed and leaving. And then, of course, Mina Shirakawa, she looked fantastic in this match. She legitimately, the in-ring portion of this match, she was the highlight. She, I think, was the MVP. She carried a lot of the in-ring work. And not to say the rest of the girls didn't work great. I mean, Harley Cameron as well. She's so improved. I love watching her TV matches. They're really fun times. This was super fun. And then at the end of the match, Jamie Hayter would come out and just square up with Tech Brawl. Another match where I'm like, hey, go seek this out. Go watch this so far. Go watch everything. 3 for 3 on great matches. The singles, the tag, and now an all-star 8 women. I couldn't, I was loving it. Like, they are on such a good run, and Collision especially, which is too bad that they're on Saturday nights, because it's just such a tough night to convince myself to sit down and watch wrestling when there's so much other stuff going on. That needs to be moved to I always try to think like Friday they directly compete with SmackDown. Monday they directly compete with Raw. Tuesday or Thursday, it's just literally the day after Dynamite, which I'm cool with. I would love to do a Wednesday night Dynamite and then Thursday night Collision. I think that would work great, but I could understand how there would be a bit of burnout, especially with where they're positioned in the week. I mean, one after another. So yeah, I don't know, but I do think you have to move it, especially with Saturday nights, college football coming back. The ratings took a huge hit, so we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do moving forward. But it's one of those shows where it's like, yeah, you should be watching this live every week because it is fantastic. It has been so good. Afterwards, we cut to a Ace Austin promo. He's, I'm excited about him. I just want to see more matches rather than promos. And then the Bang Bang Gang, they're serious now. They're throwing away the cards. They're throwing away the card gimmicks. They want to actually win matches, and they want to do the best they can with the cards that were dealt because, 2 injuries to 2 of their members. It hurts. But for being a wrestling stable, I think they're doing really well right now. And more so what I mean for being a wrestling stable that lost 2 of its members. And they lost their top member in Jay White, and then they lost one half of their tag team in Colton Gunn. And so for a wrestling stable, your top singles guy out. You can't really, fight for that main title like they used to. Like, it's hard to position the Bang Bang Gang as a top faction now. And then they don't have their tag team anymore, so they can't have the Guns wrestle for the tag titles against Brodito and have a little feud there, because they're a perfect heel tag team to wrestle against them. And yet, with the, horrible timed injuries that they're having, I think they're pivoting really well, and I think they're still being used on TV really excellently with a lower tier but a still great single star, and then a tag guy that's going to be elevated, and I really hope he is, because I love Austin Gunn. I think he's super charismatic and just funny, and that's, for me, one of my most important things in wrestling is, can you make me laugh? Yes? Then keep going. I want to see you on TV more, so... this would then set up another backstage or another pre-tape promo. Mercedes Moné, who sets up a tag match between Riho and Alex Windsor and herself and Emi Sakura. So that'll be cool. I'm pretty sure that's going to be tonight on Dynamite. It's one of the 4 matches we do know of tonight, so we'll talk about that when we get to the AEW Dynamite tonight, preview. Afterwards, we'd get Kyle Fletcher coming down to the ring with Don Callis and Josh Alexander. Don Callis would be glazing the hell out of Josh Alexander, as well as glazing Takeshita, and then Takeshita hops on the mic, talks about how he killed Kenny, and talks about how he wants to be the top guy now, especially with Swerve and Ospreay being out. I don't think he mentions that, but it's something the fans have felt for a while. And how he wants, to win big gold, and how Mark Briscoe is a pain in his side, and how he doesn't care because Takeshita's going to kill him tonight. And so, good promo. This guy looks like a top guy. This guy looks like a star. I love Kyle Fletcher. I think everyone should, if we're being honest with each other. Um, yeah, he's great. So shout out Fletch, good promo, and then this would lead into our main event. Well, it would, but first we had Roddy ruining the conglomeration's vibe backstage. Um, Kyle O'Reilly is so funny, and then this is also where we learn that Ishii is going back to Japan for a bit. So, oh, dang, our yearly Ishii visit is over. So that sucks, but Kyle O'Reilly's great, and we'll see what's up with Roddy and if he turns heel. And yeah, it looks like whatever their tag team was called, I can't even remember right now. Paragon, that's it. It looks like they're whatever. It looks like they might be breaking up. And then we go backstage also so both these segments were with Lexi Nair. Obviously there was a commercial break, but without, seeing commercials, it looks like she just teleports to Bowens, who's, I'm the pride of pro wrestling, I'm the best and whatnot. And then Jerry Lynn comes out. We'll see. We'll see how this Bowens heel run goes. And now we got the main event, and they give this a full 30 minutes, which is unreal. And all I can really say is go find this match. It's just like the match that starts out this show, and just like every other match on the show. It was unreal. These two guys tore the house down, and Mark Briscoe is probably the most underrated wrestler on the entire planet right now. One of the best promos, one of the best guys in ring, and, just emotion. That's what wrestling's all about, is feeling emotions, and he makes me feel emotions. Love, mostly. I love him. Not like marriage type of love, but like I want to see him on TV every single week. So yeah, go watch the match. I will spoil it. Takeshita wins as MJF comes out for a little sneak attack on Mark Briscoe because he hates this dude now. And then does the meme where he lies outside the ring. So add one to the list of the Hangman. I think Jay White did it once, and now, or no, Christian did it the other time, and now MJF has done it. MJF then gets this is also the day after MJF's wedding, which is hilarious. He was married literally the Friday before, so shout out MJF for that. MJF then gets a mic, says, "You name the time, you name the place, you name the stipulation. Mark, your ass is mine." And then Mark Briscoe says, all out. I want it all out. And the stipulation is, he doesn't give a stipulation. The stipulation is, I got a lot of twisted thoughts in my head. I got a lot of twisted thoughts in my mind. But I can't decide right now on what I want the stipulation to be at all out. And so, I'll decide that later on, Maxwell. That's my best Mark Briscoe. And then that's how we would close out the show. So, fantastic. We don't know it yet. I think it's going to be a dog collar match just because Max has done it before. We know he can. And it is a Mark Briscoe specialty, I feel like. And he is a chicken. He is a dog. And they're going to kill each other. 10 out of 10 collision. I think that was fantastic. Closing the book on that one. I can't believe how good the programming is. It's one of those things. I was watching Deadlock Pro Wrestling Retro Syncs, and they were watching I was focusing on only good shows. I was focusing on good TNA shows from back in the day. Actually, no, I watched one that was a bad TNA show. But I watched a good ECW show. I watched a good WWE show from '88. The first show the Winged Eagle was on. And it's one of those things that they said where it's like, the rating for the Saturday Night Main Event where Andre beats Hogan and then gives the title to the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, that show had a rating of an 18. In the 90s, they were getting ratings of 5s, and that's really high. Right now, I think it's like we're lucky if we like a 1, I think is like where TV's at. And now that's just a sign of the times. In the 80s, obviously, everyone was just kind of watching what was on. It was either you watch wrestling or you watch the news, I feel like. Obviously, there were more shows on, but that's the joke that the Deadlock Pro Wrestling guys made. And I'm like, yeah, maybe they have a point. But the better point that they had, and the point that I'm trying to make, is that if you're on your TV back in those in any day, if you're just scrolling your TV set and you see wrestling, back in the day, it was Macho Man and the Honky Tonk Man. They wrestled 1-on-1, and then it was Hogan and Andre. And it was one of those things where it's like, when you see these guys, how do you not stop the television and just pay attention for just a little bit, just a few seconds? And I feel like that's kind of the energy that AEW is having right now, where if you turn it on, if you stop it for just a couple minutes, you're going to get hooked. You're going to find reasons to stay, because it's such a special vibe it has. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, not many wrestling promotions reach the level of every single match and every single card being special like this. And not every single one of their shows having the, this level of specialness where you should stop and watch completely, because it is amazing. And it should catch your eye. I don't know if it does fully, but for me it does. And we'll see how Dynamite is tonight. And so 10 out of 10 Collision. Dynamite tonight, we will hope it's good. And then, speaking of someone who lived through it, my dad saying Saturday night's main event was a must-watch back in my day. And I think that's what AEW regular programming has become, a must-watch. It feels like you're kind of missing out if you're not watching the shows live. And so tonight, AEW Dynamite, we have a grudge match. Hangman Adam Page facing off against Josh Alexander. We also have a Philly street fight. Timeless Tony Storm facing off against Sky Blue. Sky Blue, a legend in the street fight category. Sky Blue from Chicago. I'm pretty sure. They're going to have a phenomenal fight, and there's going to be blood. We also had that tag match I talked about before. Alex Windsor, and Riho facing off against Mercedes Moné and Emi Sakura. And then the other match that is announced on Twitter, but wasn't announced on Collision or anything like that, but I'm super excited about. Just, like a low-key fascination for this match. Shelton Benjamin, 1-on-1 versus Ricochet. So Ricochet starts his beef, his feuds, his fights, I should say, with, the Hurt Syndicate. And it starts with Shelton Benjamin, and that's going to be a very, very fun match where I'll be watching that right here at the studios. So I cannot wait to watch that later on. So really fun time with AEW Collision. I'm assuming AEW Dynamite's just going to be, keeping the action going. This second last show in the ECW arena. So I'm assuming that this show being the last Dynamite here, they're going to be going for everything. They're going to be going all out, all in, they're going to be going for a revolution. They're going to be going full gear. And if it's not good, they're going double or nothing on Saturday. I think it's going to be a really fun match, though. A really fun card regardless. So very excited for that, as we will hop into the Blue Jays, talking about the team on the banner behind me, talking about the team that played last night after our travel day, and talking about some of the most important series and nerve-wracking games that we possibly can this season. As the Yankees are in a series against the Tigers, that'll be important later, and the Blue Jays are facing off against the Astros. And this will be an interesting game. It would start off with, of course, taking the mound, Shane Bieber, who gets 2 outs, who first batter of the game, first pitch of the game would be a double. And then he would get his first out of the game, but in the process, the runner would advance to second to third. And then after that, a 417-foot home run by Carlos Correa, who's back. Didn't work out in Minnesota for him very much. So that's funny. But Carlos Correa, huge 2-run home run, puts us down 2-0 in the top of the first inning. But after that, we get a fly out and a strikeout. And, 2-0's not great. We could live with that, our offense is good enough. We'd then come back in the bottom of the first, a fly out, a line out, and a line out. That's not good. That, of course, we'd start the game with George Springer batting first. George Springer batting first. I've clicked him 3 times in a row now. George Springer batting first, Nathan Lucas batting second, and then Vladdy Guerrero batting third. All three were quick outs, and then we'd move to the top of the second. So this was a weird game for a couple reasons, mostly because it's going to be a lot of me saying outs repeatedly for the Blue Jays. It's not fun. I don't like doing that, but we're going to have to do that. After those two first inning runs that we would give up, it'd be kind of smooth sailing all the way until the 6th inning. It would be flyouts, lineouts, groundouts, good games all around. If you like pitching duels, all the way until the top of the 6th inning, when this would of course be Shane Bieber's, I'm pretty sure, last inning of work. Yes, it would. He would get pulled mid-inning. He would allow a single to Altuve to start the inning off. Get his first out after that, get a second out after that on a strikeout, but then unfortunately a single, which would score Altuve from second, making the game 3-0 and giving the yank to Shane Bieber. Coming in immediately would be Rodriguez, who would get an easy line out, and that would take us out of the 6th inning and ends the night for Shane Bieber, who would go 5 2/3 innings pitched, 9 hits against, not a good number. But just 1 walk, that is a good number. 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. Is this still the guy I trust in the playoffs over Max Scherzer and Chris Bassett? That's a great question. That's a really good question. I don't really have the answer to that right now. I don't. I need to see Chris Bassett pitch one more time. I need to see Max Scherzer pitch one more time. I'm so happy I'm not part of the coaching staff on this Blue Jays team, because I would have no clue in the world what to do. Because what can you do? There's 5 pitchers that all deserve a starting spot, and I mean, I'll go to the chat for this. I want to get your opinion. 3 pitchers. Honestly, rank the Blue Jays starters 1 through 5. And do it in the chat for anyone who's in the chat. I want to see what you think. I'll do it first while you're typing it out, and then we can make our decisions together. I think the best pitcher in our lineup is Gausman. Second best, Barrios. Third best, I'll give it to Bieber. 4th best, Scherzer. 5th best, Bassett. But I think Bassett is the most consistent in being mid. I think Scherzer had such a good consistent run. I don't know. I very seriously can't. I don't know. I'm only confident in my top 2. And even then, Barrios can have a bad game. His 1 in every 6 games that are bad. And I'm right back to not knowing a thing. So we see it from Austin Collings in the chat there. Gausman 1, Bieber 2, even after giving up 9 hits against the Astros. We did win the game. He's got Scherzer 3, Barrios in that 4 spot, and then 5 Bassett. So 5 we agree on and 1 we agree on. But you got Barrios out. I mean, a couple bad outings from Barrios will do that. I'm not surprised one bit that you would have him there, because when he does get hit hard, he gets hard. Exactly. He gets hit really hard. So I agree with you there. I have to, I guess. Oh, man. But I think Gausman, Bieber are my, for sure I want to see them start a game. We see Dave Collings also in the chat. 1 Gausman, 2 Bieber, 3 Barrios, 4 Scherzer, 5 Bassett. So you are in agreement with me there. Which I get it. But again, any day of the week, any given start, we can have a different guy starting. And then we also got Kerry Hopkins, my mom, in the chat saying Gausman has an easy one, but the rest, that's where it gets hard. Yeah, I agree with you. All 4 are worthy of playoff starts, and then Bassett is worthy of long relief efforts if one of these starters is bad. Then we see going down by birthdays afterwards. I like that. Because it's pretty much just drawing names out of a hat at that point. So now that we're in the 6th inning, Bieber's day is done. We are down 3-0, and we were being no hit up until this point. Because the offense, of course, we can't have everything all going at once. We can't have starting pitching, offense, and bullpen. One of the three always has to be bad, and it looked like it was going to be the offense, as the Houston Astros did a bullpen day, which is shocking. They started with Luis Garcia, who's coming back from injury. He only gets an inning and 2/3. They then hands the game off to a couple different guys. Bluebow, King, De Los Santos, and Okert. They would pitch for the good portion of this game for the Astros, where the game would remain scoreless all the way until the 9th inning. Other than this right here, a 450 solo home run by George Springer. It doesn't get much more no-doubter than that. And there we go, 3-1. There's the momentum that they had been desperately needing. What do they do with it? Line out, single, strikeout, fly out. So that's a little unfortunate. We'd be going into the 7th inning, down 3-1. Better than 3-0, but obviously not great. As Carlos Correa in the 7th inning got hit by a pitch that was 95 miles an hour. Youch. That can't feel good. And yeah, Springer dinger, you're absolutely right, it was. I mean, it doesn't get much more Springer dinger than that. Luckily, and this is the crazy part, after Bieber was pulled, the Blue Jays would put in Rodriguez, who would get an out to finish off that 6th inning, and then get 2 more outs while only giving up 1 hit. Afterwards, we'd put in Little, who would get an out, no problem, with a strikeout. We would also throw Nance and Sir Anthony Dominguez in the game. Each of them would combine for no outs, no earned runs, no runs, and 1 hit. That was Nance. Dominguez, perfect other than 1 walk. What is happening? Are bullpens good? Lost for words. Legitimately, I can't even formulate sentences because the bullpen's actually good. And I've been, for weeks on this show, bashing them and bashing them and bashing them. And yet today, they were great. They were fantastic. As we move on to the 9th inning, where it's as scary as it gets. The top of the 9th, they're still up 3-1. This is where we have Dominguez in the game. The final out of the top of the 9th would be a fly out from Jose Altuve. I love Sir Anthony Dominguez. He's my guy, and I will stand by him. We gave him the top of the 9th over Jeff Hoffman because we trust him more, and I love that. And you know what we do with it? You know what we do with that trust? You know what we do with shutting them down in the top of the 9th inning? Well, we get the tie. We tie up the game with a 2-run single. Isaiah Kinner Falefa, baby. We're in this game. We are not out of it. We were never out of it. Never for a second were we out of this game. And then we see in the chat there, Austin Collings, it's almost as if the frustration is because this bullpen should be good, and it should be. These names aren't bad players. They're mid at worst. But we get it back for them in the bottom of the 9th. To be exact, the walks would be from Alejandro Kirk and then from Davis Schneider, who I hate on very often. So shout out to him. And that was, of course, 1 out hitting. We'd also get a single from Ernie Clement. So huge piece of hitting. We would then go into the top of the inning, 3-3. We couldn't deliver the walk-off in the 9th, but that was pretty good. That was pretty good stuff. And then we hold our breaths because Jeff Hoffman comes in the game for the top of the 9th in a tie game, and he has a bad track record lately. So what does he do? He gets a grounded fielder's choice, a pop out to first, and a fly out to center. Jeff Hoffman would come in, no strikeouts, no walks, no hits, no runs. I mean, no problem. We would then go into the bottom of the 10th inning. Runner already on second base, just so you know. Single grounded to second from Vladdy Guerrero Jr. would, I'm pretty sure, advance the base runner. To third, it would. And then Varsho would strike out, one out, and then a walk-off, grounded fielder's choice to first, Heineman. Because of course it was going to be Heineman. Who else could it have been to win the game for the Blue Jays and give Jeff Hoffman the W on the day? Our boy, Jeff freaking Hoffman. I can't believe it. What a win. What a win for the Blue Jays. A bullpen masterclass. A clutch masterpiece from Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I love it. Vladdy extra inning MVP, of course, because that grounder's choice on the fielder's play. Vladdy beat the throw and advanced draw to third previously. So shout out to Vladdy. That was on his single. And that's something you can always rely on Vladdy for. That hustle. He always does it. This is a guy that loves baseball. You never have to worry about that. When we gave him that giant contract, it's one of the reasons I was so happy about it. It's because I'm never going to be worried about this guy taking a playoff. I'm never worried about this guy not hustling when it matters most. He's no Manny Machado, one of the worst, most selfish players in the league. He's Vladdy. I hate Manny Machado. And then I guess we'll go right into it. We're goated. I didn't realize we were so goated. That was shockingly goated. The bullpen holding strong. And then let's get into it. Let's get into one of my favorite players on the entire team right now. I still love Ernie Clement, but I love George Springer more. And yes, we will get into the Yankees getting destroyed by the Tigers. I know I brought that up, and I'm glad we're remembering this. I love my audience. So we'll get into that later. That one, I won't comment on that one. But if, I'm just going to look at George Springer from a fantasy perspective. He's ranked 33 in the league, pitchers and batters. He is, fantasy-wise, and just offensive output in general, the 33rd best player in baseball. And lately, he has been unreal. Home runs in this game. Home run September 3rd. 2 runs, home runs on September 2nd, as well as an RBI machine in all of those games. Comes with home runs, of course. But regardless with that, the series against New York, he went 0 for 3 and 0 for 4. Not good, but he's back, and it feels good. He went 1 for 4 with a double and a run scored in that last game against the Yankees, which was a tough 4-3 loss, but hey, he was there. He's apparently a Cincinnati Red killer, and I can't wait to see if he's a Baltimore Oriole killer. And yes, the bullpen's good. It was good against the Yankees. If we're being honest with each other, that was not the issue. It was good last night. It's been low-key, kind of great lately. And it's funny because the starting pitching has started to dwindle in response, where our starting pitchers are starting to give up 3 runs, 4 runs, 5 runs, and kind of trying to put us out of these games, which is what the bullpen was doing in the past. And now I'm scared of the exact opposite thing that I was scared of before, which is not a good feeling. It's a very scary feeling. But a good feeling is the bullpen being good, which, yeah, not used to that in the slightest. I really hope that them turning to Seranthony Dominguez in the top of the 9th inning. It's the top of the 9th because we're at home. I hope that isn't like a one-off. I hope that, I shouldn't say fluke because he was great. I just hope that isn't something they did because Jeff Hoffman needed rest, because Jeff Hoffman came in immediately after. I hope that was them putting Seranthony Dominguez in because he deserves to be in. Because in my mind, he does. He has all season. He's, again, I think the best pitcher in that bullpen. But when everyone's clicking, hey, let's not pick favorites. Let's be like good parents and say you're all great. But regardless, makes me very happy but I still need to see more before the playoffs, because this is what it's all coming down to. And that's exactly it. You have to see both the bullpen and the starters clicking together in the playoffs. Exactly what you're saying there, Dad. It is crucial, and that's how you win games. And at the playoffs, it's 10 times harder to win games. And so if you're giving up 3, 4, 5 runs with your starter, you're losing games. You might as well just forfeit the game, because the other team is going to shut down extra hard, no matter who you're facing. It's not the regular season. It's different. It's a different brand of baseball. It really is. So I do need to see more. The offense, though, I mean, for 8 innings, I said, yeah, please more. And then for 1 inning, I was like, okay, yeah. Or for 2 innings after that, I was like, yeah, no, this is the team I love, the team I'm used to. So I like the offense. I love the bats. I think we have a good rotation no matter which way you cut it, no matter which way you slice it. And then we just need the pitching to align as it should. But if we're going to be facing teams like the Tigers or the Yankees in the playoffs, well, we're screwed. And hey, talking about a team that struggles with this bullpen, shout out the Yankees. I love them when they give up 8 runs in 1 inning. I love the Yankees when they lose 12-2. I love it. It's the best. Oh, this team could lose every single game, and I would watch it on repeat because I love watching them lose. It is one of my favorite things in the world. And going into this game, it looked like the Yankees actually had a chance, as they had started the game off with a run in the first. Do I care to find who it is? Yeah, kind of actually. A solo home run, because what else would it be when it's Aaron Judge? So yeah, a solo home run for Aaron Judge, and then a solo home run for Bellinger. 2-0 for the Yankees. Wow, it looks really good for them going into the top of the 5th. Well, top of the 5th, Meadows would hit a no-doubt 2-run home run, and the game would be over promptly after. As the top of the 7th, keep in mind these are all. You know what? I'll just say top of the 7th, 2-2 is the score. Yankees versus Tigers. Who's pitching? Cruz. F. Cruz. I don't know how he would pitch for the first 3 innings. And then Green would come in. And so this is what happened. Ground rule double, a walk, a 1-run single, an RBI walk, a 1-run single, a hit by pitch that scores a run, an RBI walk, and then a 2-run triple. A 2-run triple. A 2-run triple! How do you let a triple happen? In the year 2025, being a good baseball team, you let a triple happen? I hope it was because Stanton was in the field. There is video of it. I'm gonna watch this real quick. Pitch comes in, hit sharply to center field into the left center gap. Ranging on it is Bellinger, and he's jogging. He picks it up all the way at the wall. 5 seconds have passed as the throw comes in. He hits the cutoff man, who throws quickly over to third, and a stand-up triple as Judge and Bellinger were just lackadaisical on that ball. It scores every last base runner for the Tigers. After that, you would get a ground out, an intentional walk, and then a grounded force out to second, which would score a run, and then promptly the inning would end. Oh, I love it. I could watch that inning back to back to back. I could watch that inning on repeat. I'd be so happy. I'd be so joyous. It felt so good watching along through Reel. Just Yankees getting destroyed. It's almost like tranquility. It's peaceful. It's meditative. Is that a word? It's like meditation, I should say. Later on, they would score 1 more run to make it a 12-2 ball game, and then the New York Yankees would lose. The Yankees lose. Very happy. Shout out to that Cruz guy. 5 earned runs, no outs. A masterclass, if we're being honest. Also, shout out to Leiter Jr., who allowed 4 earned runs and no outs of his own. I love it. This just I could just breathe it in. I could just live in this moment of the Yankees losing 12-2. Of course, they're going to be facing off against the Tigers yet again today. We'll see how that goes for the 80-64 Yankees, who are now officially 3 games back on the Toronto Blue Jays. So, Toronto Blue Jays 83-61, Yankees 80-64, Red Sox 81-65. So both the Red Sox and the Yankees are 3 games back. Still going to be tough. We still have to hold this division. I'm still scared of holding the division, but we see in the chat there, Dave Collings says, I have no fear of playing the Yanks in the playoffs, and I love it. I mean, especially after they give up 12 runs, I don't have fear either, but after that series where they took 2 games, it's a little more scary than I would like, but I'm a little less scared than I would usually be. Let's just say that. Looking at the playoffs, the Texas Rangers are actually getting pretty close. Still a game and a half back on the Mariners, but that's about it for the standings race. Let's see. NFL news. Oh, yeah. I guess we'll talk about that. There was scorigami in the NFL. Now that we got about 8 minutes left in the sports hour, we'll just talk about some random sports stuff that tickled my fancy lately. So Sunday Night Football had one of the most unreal games I've ever seen. I talked about it a bit Monday, but I'll talk about it more now because Secret Base uploaded a scorigami video. It's their first of 4. I can't wait. This is like movies coming out for me. It's 45-minute episodes. At least the first one was a 45-minute episode. Hiccups are here now. This is not good. A 41-40 game has never happened before in the history of football, which is unreal that that's never happened for one, and unreal that that's a final score that can't happen. I thought I got rid of these. I got too amped up talking about the Yankees losing. No! I just get so happy and worked up that my diaphragm starts spasming. I can't control the hiccups. Look, the Yankees don't lose 12-2 every day, and we don't have a comfortable 3-game lead on the Yankees in September most seasons. So, excuse me, body, as I try to get rid of these hiccups. Alright, I think we're good. So, yeah, 41-40 scorigami game, unreal. I guess I'll clue you guys in, as this is the Curtis Collings Presents the Sports Hour. Something fun that has been added this year to a lot of the main fantasy apps, such as Yahoo and Sleeper, are things called Guillotine and Chopped Leagues. And what these leagues are is the team in last place gets eliminated. And so there's 14 people in the leagues, go until there's one person standing. And so in every single league I'm in, which is 5 of them, no, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4, I survived. One of them, I was second last. And that second last team was thanks to Bryce Young, who was honestly, he was my third best player, which is not good because he was not very good. So Bryce Young, Ladd McConkey, T. Higgins. Ladd McConkey had 9 targets, 6 catches for 74 yards. That's a good game, 10 fantasy points. T. Higgins, 4 targets, 3 receptions for 33 yards. Yikes. Jamar Gibbs, 9 carries for 19 yards. 10 receptions on 10 targets, and that's what carried him there for 31 yards. That's a guy who was drafted top 10, top 5 in most leagues. That's a bad performance. I started Nick Chubb, 13 rushing attempts for 60 yards. That's good for Nick Chubb. If he had a touchdown, that's a great game. Sammy Laporta, 6 receptions on 9 targets for 79 yards. Good game also. And then Njoku, 6 targets, 3 receptions, 36 yards. All of those games are mid to bad, and I came second last, and it was bad. That was That's about as close as it gets. Um, but how bad it does get, I can't even see. I can't even see. Because I do want to pull it up because it's unreal how, like, they had Brian Thomas Jr., which, hey, that's an unfortunate outing. They had Ashton Genty, which, hey, he wasn't even that bad. Just the rest of his team was that bad. Hollywood Brown. And so the point of these leagues is that when guys get eliminated, all their players get released into free agency and you get to bid on them. And so I went crazy on all my teams. And it looks like now I should be safe for the next 4 to 5 weeks. That's when I feel like teams are going to start to get really good. And the fact I spent a lot of my fantasy budget is going to come to bite me. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. 4 for 4 right now. I also won in all 3 of my normal leagues in fantasy, Yahoo Fantasy. So, I mean, if we're bragging, we're bragging. I'm kind of goated. On Sleeper, less goated. My 32 team, my 32 man leagues, those won. Love starting 1-0 in both of those. But my other leagues lost. My defensive team lost to Nolan, who was on the show. I had the 3rd most points in a 6-man league, and I still lost. And then every other team I had lost as well. So, yikes. Yikes. So, Sleeper, we're going to hope, next week's going to be a little better for, the squads there. One of those was unfortunate. One of those leagues is a median league, where if you score more or less than the league median, you get an extra win. So I lost my week, but if I was in the top 6 of 12 for scoring, I would have went 1-1. Instead, I lost my week and I came 7th in scoring. So I went 0-2 because I was the every single team that had a high amount of I phrasing it wrong. I had the most amount of points for a team that lost, and I had the 7th most points. That means every single team that lost deserved to lose, which is funny. It's just, it sucks because I could have faced any of the teams below me and won, and then been 1-1 instead of 0-2. But here I am now. So, hey, I'll keep you guys updated on that moving forward. I love fantasy football, and I love the fantasy season. Mondays and Tuesdays are some of my favorite days in the week because that's when you get to see the results from all your team, and of course, teams, plural. And of course, this is Curtis Collings Presents the Sports Hour. Curtis Collings. So we're going to be talking about my stuff because, why not? It's stuff that keeps me entertained. Hopefully, it'll be stuff that keeps you guys entertained. So, ton of fun today. Really good episode. Sorry I came late. That was regrettable because we had a lot of fun stuff to talk about, and I'm sure we will have more fun stuff to talk about later on tomorrow. So make sure if you missed today's episode to get on your phones, get on your computers, get on your tablets. Curtis Collings Presents the Sports Hour. 1:15 is when we close up shop every day. So 12:15 to 1:15 every single day, Monday through Friday. You know where to find me, the Collings Thode Network. If you did tune in today, thank you very much. If you didn't tune in or you're just tuning in now, hey, make sure that you tune in tomorrow for a great show. Tomorrow we'll talk more Blue Jays, we'll talk more AEW Dynamite, and maybe, just maybe, we'll talk about some football if we got the news to talk about. That's all from me today. Curtis Collings Presents the Sports Hour. Until we do it again tomorrow, thanks for joining.